You are Locked On Rockets Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Houston on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
In a regular season that has been a success for the Houston Rockets, that has seen them have many streaks that have been very good. Tonight, they pulled off their longest winning streak of the season by defeating the Chicago Bulls, making it 6 straight wins in what was a survival mode type of game. Yeah, the Rockets might not have had their best stuff tonight, but at the end of the night, wins are wins, and it was one of those wins that the Rockets had to have, and they got it tonight against a Chicago team that came into this one playing some pretty good basketball of late. Hello and welcome tonight to the Locked On Rockets Postcast. I am your host, Michael Connor. Thank you for stopping by and saying hello if you're watching live. This channel is live after every Rockets game, Astros game, Texans game, Cougars football. We've got you covered right here, Locked On Sports Houston. Always appreciate you guys supporting the page. Hit that subscribe button. We're making our climb. We continue to go higher and higher. Tonight's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. Well, if you had bet on this game tonight being tight, I wouldn't have made that bet. I really thought coming into this one, the Rockets would probably blow this thing out with ease. Now, look, the Rockets, of course, played just last night. They did have a blowout win. They were able to get guys off the floor late in the game. I didn't love tonight's basketball game. I don't want to take everything away from the Chicago Bulls because, again, the Bulls have been playing, way better basketball of late coming into this one. They are, now look, they're, 11 games under 500. They're not a good team by any means, but they are in the play-in in the Eastern Conference. They'd won 4 in a row entering this one. They'd beaten the Magic, the Heat, the Pacers, the Nets. Okay, so the resume isn't unbelievable there, but they had played better basketball of late. The Rockets, I really thought still would come out tonight and just kind of boat race this thing like they did earlier. Maybe not, probably not to the extent that they boat raced Chicago earlier this year in Chicago. What was the final on that score? It was huge. It was absolutely massive. I can't find it. There it is, 143-107 back in November when they played this team. I wasn't expecting that outcome. I also wasn't expecting to sweat it, and you had to sweat it. I really thought that the problem in the first half, and you know what? As we talk about it here, this is what I'll give this to you.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
I think the turning point overall, they played a better second quarter where they scored a lot more points. But really, I think halftime was the turning point tonight because the Rockets in the first half tonight to this Chicago Bulls team. Now, look, I know that the Bulls chuck a lot of threes. The Bulls scored 65 points in the first half tonight. But that's not Rockets basketball to allow an opponent to have 65 points in a half. It's just not, especially a opponent that is not very good. Second half became a different story. They allowed the Bulls to score just 49 points. They held them to 43% from the field and 33 from three. Rockets didn't shoot the ball that well in the second half as a team, but they did score 57 points, which is amazing. You look at it. You look at the Rockets' second half alone offensively. 42% from the field, 26 from three. And I realized this was that bad until I pulled the box score here. 54%, almost 55% from the free throw line in the second half. The Rockets missed 10 free throws in the second half, 12 of 22. I mean, I knew it was bad as the game went along. I didn't know it was that bad. They ended up going 15 of 26 on the night. And I know it's one of the simplest things that you can always do. And they always say free throws are free. But man, if you just knock down like of the 9 missed, if you cut that to make 5 of those, we're talking about a almost 10-point win. And maybe you're not sweating it. It's just annoying when those happen. The main culprits for the free throw issues, of course, Steven Adams stinks at free throws. He was 0 of 4. Fred VanVleet somehow was 2 of 4. That's amazing. Other than that, everybody else pretty good. But those are your main culprits of your issues tonight at the free throw line. which would have been nice to, again, to kind of have those points. But again, the turning point to me was that second half where that the Rockets went in that halftime like they typically do. And they got chewed out by Ime Udoka because 65 points to the Chicago Bulls in the first half is, it's flat out unacceptable, to be perfectly honest with you. You credit the Bulls for shooting well. They shot 40% from three in the first half, 49 from the field. The Rockets, of course, did turn the ball over in that first half quite a bit, 9 times in the first half. And that kind of led to, they did score 60 points as a team in that first half, which was fine, which would be great most nights. But that, I think, combination of coming out and playing sloppy early, and I did feel watching it, I don't know about you guys, I did feel watching it that, they kind of gave off that energy like they just expected to roll the ball out tonight against this Chicago team and walk away with a victory. And look, that's a human thing. I can sit here and be critical of it. I'm not in their shoes and you're not in their shoes. I think we all know that we have moments in life where we do that. You go through the motions to an extent, and in an 82-game season, when you just played the night before, they probably, I know that they're at home. They go home, get a good night's sleep in their own bed. But I would imagine there was no shoot around today, this morning after that game. I can't say I'd imagine. I would bet that there was no shoot around or anything this morning. They just got to the arena maybe a little bit earlier this afternoon, whatever. But it just kind of felt like it was one of those nights to start with. They didn't take Chicago as seriously as an opponent as they should. And it's important to have, your foot on the gas with these kind of things. We've talked about it a lot. The Rockets are in this stretch of games where, they're playing a ton of teams that they should beat. And look what's happened. They've reeled off a 6-game winning streak. They are passing the test with flying colors. Is it going to be perfect every single night? Are you going to walk away from each one of them, stress-free? Of course not. It's basketball. It's professional sports. Even on the other side, they're going to go out and they're going to play Philadelphia on Monday. Philadelphia is a dumpster fire. They are 22 games under 500. That's a team that you should smoke, but they still have a guy over there in Tyrese Maxey who can go out and put up 50 on you. And bad teams can have a night. We see the Rockets for the last few years, but before last season, I should say. They'd win 20 games a year. Okay, but 20 nights out of the 82, you're still capable of going out there and ripping one off because you're still a professional. And guys get hot, and somebody goes and carries you. And so, you do small things here, small things there. And then the other side of the coin is that, the opponent that's supposed to win goes out there and doesn't play to their top capability or moves through the motions a little bit. And if I went back through the schedule this season, there's probably multiple games that I could find where I said, yeah, they did this where I was expecting, a little bit more there, or they felt like they moved through the motions here, whatever it might be. That is the human factor of sports that we can't account for. We put all these guys up somewhere else and wonder about, all these other things. At the end of the day, they are people just like you and I. And people sometimes go to their job and don't care. I'm not saying the Rockets didn't care tonight. It's just the first half gave me that kind of vibe, that kind of feel. And I did not enjoy it necessarily. Second half, okay, they did some things better defensively, for sure. And then they kind of locked it down there late in the fourth quarter in the key moments. Credit to Jabari Smith there towards the end with a really good play on the defensive side of the basketball. As was that Kobe White that was going to the rim there? Yeah, Kobe White was going to the rim there and went straight up, played good defense and did not foul, and Kobe White just flat out missed a layup. So, those are the kind of things that they did well tonight down the stretch that really, I thought, you got to acknowledge when you see them. Who was the player of the game tonight? We'll give you that here in just a second. We'll also take a look ahead to Monday night's matchup against the 76ers next here on the Locked On Rockets Postcast. March Madness is here, and FanDuel is giving you the chance to get in on the action like never before. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. That's $200 extra bucks to use on everything from buzzer beaters to Cinderella stories and even who's cutting down the nets. I've got my eye on a few underdogs this year, and FanDuel makes it easy to back them with spreads, totals, and game props. With tournament games happening almost every day, there's always something exciting to bet on. FanDuel app is simple to use, and when I win, I get paid instantly. No waiting around. Visit FanDuel.com and get in on the college hoops action all tournament long. And one more message before we get back to our Rockets discussion tonight after their win over the Chicago Bulls. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all of your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. So you stop just managing your own money and start building wealth. Look, when you, like I, get started using Monarch, I realized just how much I was spending on food delivery. Now I budget smarter and save more. Instead of juggling multiple apps, you can use Monarch to check all your finances, track spending, and even plan long-term goals. Managing money with your partner is smoother than ever as well. You can track shared and personal accounts, set goals, and stay on the same page without the stress. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONNBA for half off your first year. Locked On Rockets Postcast tonight after the Rockets get a win over the Chicago Bulls, 117-114, securing their longest winning streak of the season. 6 games in a row now. This started on the 6th of March against the New Orleans Pelicans. They beat the Pelicans twice. They beat the Orlando Magic. They beat the Phoenix Suns, Dallas Mavericks, and the Chicago Bulls. And good news for the Rockets, I think that this thing is going to extend to 8 games. Yes, I'm calling my shot now. This will get to at least 8 games. The Rockets will play the Philadelphia 76ers on Monday at the Toyota Center. That's going to wrap up this very lengthy homestand for the Rockets, 6-gamer, which is fantastic. And then they're going to get back out on the road for a bit. They're going to go to Orlando for that one. That is Wednesday. They do not have another back. They just played another back-to-back here. They do not have another back-to-back. I'm just taking a quick glance through the schedule. That's it. Tonight was the last of the back-to-backs this season. They go for the rest of the year, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, Monday. Oh, I'm sorry. There's one. I'm really good at scrolling through it really quick. There's just one left. Is that right? Yes, there's one left. Sunday, March 30th. And Monday, March 31st at Phoenix, and then at the Los Angeles Lakers. Standings update for you. The Rockets, of course, doing their thing. Look, they're right back up there. We've talked about it a lot. There's a lot to play for between now and the end of the regular season. The Rockets at 43-25. They are currently the 3 seed in the Western Conference. The Denver Nuggets are beating the Washington Wizards tonight by 8 at the moment as we are going through this show live. The Nuggets will have slid back ahead by a half game on the Rockets right now. So the Rockets are currently the 3 seed. They would host the Golden State Warriors in the playoffs if it started tomorrow. Do I want to face them? I've seen the Rockets play the Warriors enough. I'm not worried about that right now. The Rockets got to take care of their business the rest of this season and push as far into the 50-win territory as they can get and try to be the 2 seed. I think it would be awesome if you could be the 2 seed, guaranteed home court there for at least the first couple of rounds of the playoffs. And you never know. You absolutely never know if you're able to pull that off here in the next few weeks. It's time now to give out our player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Tonight, we will give it to Mr. Jalen Green. Come on down, take a bow. I could really give it to any of the three guys that put it in over 20 tonight. Jalen, Fred VanVleet, and Alpi. They were all fantastic. Honestly, let's just do a player of the game. It's a trifecta for those three guys tonight. Alpi, Jalen, and Fred. 24 for Alpi, 24 and 15, 4 assists, 2 steals. 9 of 18 for the field. Jalen was 28 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. He was 11 of 25 from the field. Then Fred VanVleet, 23 points, 7 assists. Only 1 turnover, because that's what Fred does, and 4 rebounds in the game tonight. All those guys were really, really solid. The starting lineup was pretty darn solid tonight. Jabari Smith did not have a good shooting night, but all those guys got double digits. The Rockets did not get a lot out of their bench tonight. They had a total of, let me do math real quick off the top of my head. This is going to be great for the show. Oh, it's very easy tonight. 17 points from the bench tonight. So 100 of your points coming from the starters and 17 from the bench. Again, Monday night, they're going to play the Philadelphia 76ers. That is the last game of this homestand. It'll be another 7 o'clock tip. Don't forget, as soon as the game ends, we will be right here on this show, the Locked On Rockets Postcast, live discussing it's hopefully a very easy win. I feel pretty good about that one. You guys have a great rest of your Saturday night, and I'll talk to you on Monday night on the Locked On Rockets.